Right, welcome back. We're still talking about water, and I know this is an issue that affects us all in one form or another. Water is life. We can't survive without it. It is precious, and I would even say perhaps more precious than gold, platinum, all these other minerals, because that's the one thing that we all need preciously. So let's conserve it. Let's save it as best we can. At Morning Live SABC, that's our Twitter handle. Please send your questions through to Minister, Deputy Minister, and we'll get a real-time answer for you. We go to table number 12 here in Woodmead, and we'll find Garnet there.
Good morning to the Minister. I want to say to the Minister, I'm coming from KZ in North Coast, under Mkanyagute district. My thing is that over there where we are from, we got lack of information. Information is something we don't get. At the moment as I'm speaking, we don't have water. The Mfolozi River is dry. Now I'm saying to the Minister, if it's possible that, because the municipality that I'm under, Matuba, we are about 200 kilometers to the district municipality. We don't have a water offices over there. If it's possible that the Minister can at least have an office for us so that if we need information, we can go and get the information over there. Thank you.
Okay, this is a theme that keeps coming up, isn't it? People just want to be informed so that they know.
Yes, and I think there are three things that I can say. Every ward in South Africa has a ward councillor. And for me, that should be our immediate point of call. There should be a community development worker in that space, and they must actually be working together with the ward committees. And what is being raised is also a need for us to reflect on the functionality and efficiency of those structures that government has established to bring government closer to the people. Because if a CDW, a community development worker, the ward councillor and the ward committee were functional, then there wouldn't be a need to have a Department of Water and Sanitation in every community. But across the country, we do have regional offices of the department that work with our municipalities, that interact with the private sector, that relates to the provincial and local government. And I do understand the problems in that area. What is also quite a good model that we are learning from KwaZulu-Natal is what they call the war rooms on service delivery, where we have also now started to say, let's become part of the war rooms as the Department of Water and Sanitation. But now with the problems in Madibeng, our team that went to Madibeng emphasized the importance of setting up water forums. And those water forums are now beginning to also assist. We are also working towards a national coordinating contact center that I was talking about, that in due course will be announcing it and being in a position to deal with that kind of information. But for now, the gentleman can come. There are officials here after this that must remain so that then they can interact with people and be able to refer matters to their municipalities.
All right. Judy Nokwedi, there we go. You got a question? Please stand. We can get a microphone to you. Okay, at the front here, there we go.
Good morning, and of course, two of my favorite women in the whole world. Thank you. It's wonderful to see you. My question is, you know, most of us in the room, certainly all the black people in the room, grew up with pit toilets. The toilet, the buckets were collected, that's me, the buckets were collected once every 2 weeks if we were lucky, and no running water. So a change in individual behavior for most black South Africans is not unachievable. But my question is coming to the department. We potentially are on the cusp of great innovation, new builds, new ways of preserving water, desalination, etc. And we are faced with incredible corruption problems. What is the capacity, honourable ladies, in your department in terms of your procurement capability and your supply chain competencies? Because success in new build hinges on the ability of your departments to procure and to issue tenders in a fair manner. Thank you.
Okay.
I can hear the tenderpreneurs clapping hands. when we came in, we opened a database for the department because historically there's been a few who have been running from one end of the country to the other, being the sole service providers. We opened up for new emerging business people. We called for innovative solutions, and even with innovative solutions, we understood that we have to have some standards that must be actually complied to, and hence our Water Research Commission is the one that we refer people to if you have an innovative solution. And on innovation, there might also be limits in terms of competition. Where a solution is seen to be working and is a standalone, as you walk outside there, you'll see innovative solutions in terms of water storage for households that have been demonstrated there. We've got what we call the water banks that we are looking at, new piping, new systems. But the other thing that Judy has raised, which is important, is how we make sure that processes are transparent. We've developed a database for service providers, both on the side of professional services as well as on the side of construction. And we have consciously, as a department, taken a decision that we are also going to apply preferential procurement for women-owned companies and youth-owned companies and support to people living with disability. So that then we can, whilst we're dealing with the construction of the infrastructure, we empower other people and make sure that they are beneficiaries. Where there are problems, we are able to deal with them. We rely on other institutions like your investigative institutions to deal with these issues of corruption, but where it happens in our own system, we deal with those issues without fear or favor. And in some instances where there's incompetence in the side, we remove people on the sideways because it's important that your systems become credible. But credibility does not mean permanent presence of those who have benefited previously. If there is a new Mudisa suddenly who's competing with an old Van der Merwe, that's not corruption. If there is a Mrs. Mahlangu who is in the system who can build a dam, who can build Mzimvubu, we must make sure that she has come in with the support and with the understanding that she can do that. And I think it is those kind of inclusivity matters that we must deal with, but we must not cut our corners very short.
All right, okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take maybe 3 questions in a row. I really need you to be quite brief, and then I'm going to get Minister to be briefer with her answers as well, so we can get through as many as possible. Starting with Winnie Ngwenya on table number 15. Winnie Ngwenya, table number 15. You've got a really good question here, but be very brief, please.
Oh, my Lord.
Good morning, Peter, and good morning, Minister and Deputy Minister. My question, Peter, on the Minister, it's about the struggle of the woman in terms of fetching the water. I wanted to know from the Minister that how far is the program of bringing water near to the woman in terms of stopping ukuthwala amanzi ngekhanda komama. Moreover, kubo mama abagulayo, I'm from Soweto, from the Progressive Woman of Hope, where we was assisting women who suffer to go even to the tap to fetch water. Some of them are blind and they need water. I don't know kulaba babuye emakhaya ke it's worse ngoba wakha emfuleni. Ingabe yiziphi inhlelo esenizenzile ni department ukubuyisa amanzi eduzane nomama ukuze nabo bakwazi ukuthola lenkululeko yokuyekela ukuthwala ngekhanda sikwazi ukwenza namaphondo ekhanda. Ngiyabonga.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. And then let's go to Lunga, who's on table number 2. Lunga. Is it Nklokwan?
Yeah, but also we're laying infrastructure to rural areas through.
Table number 2. If you could stand up, Lunga. There we go. All right. Excellent.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, ministers, and good morning at the House at large. I'm a water practitioner who comes from the Eastern Cape, and coincidentally, the topics that we've been talking about regarding Madibeng, I've done projects there. Now, the problem that we usually face at local level is acceptability of innovative solutions by the local technical personnel as well as the end user. Because if that happens, then we can take ownership. And once we take ownership of that, then that goes a long way in addressing sustainability. So how do we deal with the fact that we've got all innovative solutions from the Water Research Council, from the CSIR, from us as well, but the acceptability of those solutions as the technical personnel from the municipalities as well as the end users themselves?
Okay, very
Thank
good
you.
question. And then the last one here, Andrew Campelson, table 20, Camphausen. Is that correct? Correct. Okay.
Good morning, Ministers. I just want to ask one question. Does private business take the current water challenge as seriously as the DWS?
Okay.
Does
All right.
what?
As seriously as the Department of Water Sanitation. So this water leaks campaign, A, do people at large understand it? And B, is the private sector taking it seriously?
Yes, Peter. Let me start by responding to Winnie's question. The integration of programs, which was mentioned by the Minister of Water and Sanitation and also COCTA, that ourselves, the COCTA, the Human Settlement, we are saying when building a house, we must have a JoJo tank. And also we're saying, even to the suburb areas, that we must now think of buying JoJo tanks for rainfall water harvesting. And it's something that we did not talk about. Water harvesting is very important. And I know that you are right, we grew up fetching water from the rivers. And we have now new technologies. One of them is which was I was distributing in the last imbizo that I had, the wheelbarrow, or kind of where men must also go and look for water. Because it's not, it's not only the responsibility of women to fetch water. Men must, the wheelbarrow, it will be good for men.
Yeah.
They will also do the work of making sure that they're fetching water using wheelbarrows.
Yeah.
The other one is the War on Leaks program, Peter.
Yeah.
We're doing more awareness campaign programs. People might not be aware, but I think by now they should be understanding the climate change is now reality. And we don't know how long this climate change is going to take. So I think by now people know that there is a problem. So I think the War on Leaks program, there are billboards all over. If you
Awareness is one thing, but taking it seriously is another.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
We have what we call the South African Strategic Water Partnership. That network is a network of business, civil society, you name it, research institutions and everybody. But we've also just launched out of the World Economic Forum what we call the Urban Water Alliance, which is convened now through Minister Jeff Khatebe, where we're working together with big industries, with multinationals in looking at these issues around the war on leaks. Because as we deal with awareness, part of those youngsters who are being recruited out of the 15,000, others are going to be artisans. We need to build a new breed of plumbers and entrepreneurs in the water sector, and we will also be placing some of them in local government and increasing the capacity of local government through the skills. Some of them are graduates who have not been employed over time, and they are coming into that particular space. Let me chip in on the issue of innovation and the end user. Like I'm saying, fear of the unknown is what has been a problem in South Africa, and hence we start by piloting these kind of solutions and make our people to understand, but also deal with those that are dealing with technical services, quality assurance, assurance, because sometimes it's because of the relationships that they've had with those that have been historically the suppliers of the material and goods. And we must break that monopoly. So yes, come to us, let's work together, let's take these solutions like what we have done in Kayelicha, and as I've said, the potential in terms of empowerment with our operations and maintenance plan can create job opportunities, can build new industries, as we are doing now, looking at new industries. But the innovative side is a space that we all have to actually harvest. And the Water Research Commission is always available to make sure that it helps us in dealing with the issues of quality, adherence to standards, and so on. Thanks.
Minister, we have, as you said, a coastline that is thousands of kilometers. And I'm just wondering, how far are we in terms of research and getting a cheap way to desalinate? I mean, we've got brains in this country. We've developed world-class technologies ahead of the rest of the world often. Maybe we can deploy that kind of intellect to come up with a solution, because that will solve a problem overnight.
We've gone beyond the research. We've got some of our colleagues, partners from Iran, who are in South Africa as we speak. They've followed us as we came back with the deputy president. They will be working during the period that you call a shutdown period. They don't shut down because water has no 8 to 4. So they will be working even during the festive season in KwaZulu-Natal and supporting what the provincial government has already started, because there are some small desalination projects that we have done, including in the Western Cape. We've given them a go-ahead to work together with us. We are pulling some of our local partners to come and work with them, including our research institutions. There is also work that we are doing through the other partners that we have in looking at the desalination of acid mine water. But on this one, one of the things I want to add using this platform, let's not talk about the cost, because I don't know what we're comparing the cost of desalination to. Yeah. We must deal with the issue of desalinating water and providing it for use, and be able that we deal with the tariffs and the use in line with the different end users that require different volumes and different kinds of water. You have raised the issues of the economy. Some of your sugarcane plantations in KwaZulu-Natal are actually highly affected, and that impacts on the industry. And therefore, the issues of the cost of desalination, nobody has given me what this expensive cost of desalination is. But since I came into water, I was told that's an expensive solution. And I'm saying, let's go for the expensive solution in the best interest of giving life to our people.
All right. Jessica Naidu, table number 5. This is an interesting question. Jessica Naidu, table number 5.
Good morning, Peter. The minister is looking at me apprehensive. I just want to change a bit of the geographical context, because climate phenomena don't respect political boundaries. El Nino, climate change affects Southern Africa as a region, not just South Africa as a country. So, Minister, can we use this current drought that we're in to catalyze, to mobilize, to make us much more secure as a region in the world than we are currently?
Okay.
I think it's something that we have already demonstrated. Thanks for raising that. The fact that South Africa has got relationships with Botswana, with Swaziland, with Namibia is a demonstration of our own intention. The launch of the Urban Water Alliance is in line with the African Union's Heads of State Infrastructure Program. Fortunately, President Jacob Zuma is the chairperson of the Heads of State AU's Commission on Infrastructure. So Minister Jeff Khatebe and ourselves are working in that particular space, because precisely because of what Desigan has raised, we definitely have to overhaul the entire infrastructure along our own region, but also across Africa, and sharing of information, so that then we do not reinvent the wheel. Fortunately, we do have an institutional body that exist in Africa that is dealing with these issues. Don't underestimate the need for peace and stability in our neighboring countries. We need a peaceful Zimbabwe for us to access the Zambezi River.
Right.
We need a peaceful and prosperous Lesotho for us to have water that must reach Botswana. We need collaboration and cooperation with Namibia for us to be able to have access to the Orange River system. So definitely, water knows no boundary.
Okay, I want 2 short questions here, very quick. Table number 6, Thabo Mutaung. Table number 6, if you can get a microphone to him. In the meantime, Amadeo Lindu, table number 19, if you can get a microphone there as well. If you could stand up. All right, so Thabo, table 6.
Thank you, ministers. My question is very short and sweet. Why has the budget for water and sanitation not been spent?
Okay, thank you.
Not spent.
Yeah, you haven't spent all your money. Amadeo.
Oh.
Amadeo, your question?
Good morning, ministers. Good morning, everybody.
Which one is this
I would like to know, for borehole drilling in South Africa.
Can hear.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Borehole drilling in South Africa is becoming a very big industry, and it seems like people are taking advantage of groundwater. We have no proper regulations in place to control contamination and abstraction. People are just drilling in residential areas, as you talk about, for irrigation.
Okay.
Is there any way are we going to regulate this industry?
All right. So we've run out of time, but the question that he's raised, people are just digging boreholes now. It's not controlled, it's not managed, and as a result, contamination issues will come to the fore. Are we going to start seeing regulation in terms of particularly boreholes digging? And then, of course, why haven't you spent your budget?
Yeah, no. I think you are right. There hasn't been a properly managed process. We would urge South Africans to contact their own municipality so that then they can be given better information. And where the municipality doesn't have the capacity, we'll urge them to work together with our water boards and the regional offices of the Department of Water and Sanitation. Because we know also some of the boreholes that were installed are now running dry because of that unmanaged and unregulated environment. We've spent our budget. It's only 2 billion that we didn't spend, and it has gone back to Treasury. Do I regret? I don't. I think it is better that you use the money when we've got good plans, capable hands and brains, so that then it can be utilized rather than dumping it and disposing it and yet not being able to make a difference. In the long term, we will impress, and hence we are working on an integrated approach that we can get better resources. So that's how committed we are. Government doesn't have sufficient resources. They rather be put to good use with capable hands and brains.
All right, and unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to put an end to this conversation, but it's one that we can continue to have, share with each other suggestions, ideas. Let's save water. Water is life, and any little bit that you do, it all adds up and it all counts. So let's all start thinking a little bit more consciously about how we can save this precious, precious resource, which is water. Our thanks to the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Honourable Nomvula Mokonyane. Thank you very much indeed. And Deputy Minister Pamela Tshwete, thank you very much indeed for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Peter.
And we wish you the best of luck. And if we can work with you, we certainly would love to do that. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Not an if, you have to work with us. Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Thanks.
And you at home, our next conversation, you know we're in the midst of 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. So next week, we're going to be talking to Minister Susan Shabangu. So please join us for that. Start sharing your thoughts, your ideas. We've got to get rid of this scourge to the most vulnerable in our communities, in our societies, our women and our children. Please, let's talk about this next week. From us here in Woodmead, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day, everybody, and save water.
Thank you so very, very much for that conversation, a vital, vital conversation that I know a lot of you have been enjoying here this morning. You know, it's just the reality of talking about people's lives. Tebs Ngwana writes to us and says, I always use a wheelbarrow to fetch water. And when I come home from work, it's a little bit late and it's a nightmare to go and fetch that water when I do come home. You know, that's the reality of so many people. So let's just take it easy when it comes to water, save water, and let's just hope the process moves very, very fast.